NPTI. Under her visionary leadership, NPTI has conducted more than 80 programs across India on biomass pellet co-firing. Dr. Thakur Madam has authored over 100 international research papers and received numerous prestigious awards. She is the first female Director General of NPTI. During her tenure of over 4 years, she has revitalized NPTI and significantly enhanced its visibility and impact across the power sector. We welcome you, ma'am. I also extend a warm welcome to Shri Anil Baweja ji, Director Mission Samar, for his esteemed presence and continuous support in organizing this program. Furthermore, I welcome Shri S.K. Srivastava, Principal Director NPTI, Shri Manoj Kumar Yadav, Member Mission Samar, Shri P. Ankuri, Shri V. Ranna, and our esteemed senior faculty members and the participants. Friends, to address the challenges of air pollution caused by stubble burning and to reduce the carbon footprint of thermopower plant, NPTI, in collaboration with Mission SAMARTH, is organizing these training programs across the India. These initiatives support the national energy transition efforts and contributes toward achieving the net zero emission target. It also aligns with the objective of National Clean Air Policy Program while creating income opportunities for farmers and small entrepreneurs. Once again, I extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you. Your presence and participation make this program truly meaningful and successful. Thank you.
Sir, thank you, sir. I would like to call Anil Baweja, sir, for address this session.
Thank you and good morning to all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Respected Director General, NPTI, Director of NPTI PR, Shri Ankit Srivastava ji, Principal Director, Shri S.K. Srivastava ji, and more importantly, all the esteemed thermal power plant TPP officials and colleagues participating in this online training today. Organized through the joint efforts of National Power Training Institute and the SAMARTH mission, this program is aimed at bringing a fundamental and necessary transformation in our national energy landscape. Friends and colleagues, you are all experts in the energy sector and are well aware that climate change is a global challenge today. To face this challenge and to eradicate the practice of crop residue burning by farmers, the Ministry of Power released its policy on November 17, 2017, which was followed by launch of SAMARTH mission on July 12, 21. Our objective is clear: to achieve the mandatory 5 to 7% biomass co-firing in thermal power plants. I am proud to share that this mission is no longer just a blueprint, it has become a proven success story. Our latest figures indicate that 71 thermal power plants across 15 states of the country have now joined this mission, and they are co-firing biomass. These plants have utilized over 32.30 lakhs metric tons of biomass pellets to date. As a result, we have prevented approximately 38 lakh metric tons of CO2 emissions from entering the atmosphere. This data clearly shows that co-firing is achievable and it is beneficial for the nation. Your role from policy to practice. Today, you, our TPP officials, are the real engines of this mission. While formulating policy is one thing, the successful execution of this policy through efficient handling, storage, combustion, and quality control is entirely your responsibility. This training program has been designed to help you understand all the intricacies of co-firing, whether they involve international case studies or the procurement strategy of successful plants like Napa Power Limited. Remember, we have an annual surplus of over 230 million metric tons of agriculture residue. This is not waste. It is cheap, local, and carbon neutral fuel. Before concluding, let me reiterate the core message. Agricultural residue is no longer a burden, but the fuel for power plants and an opportunity for green energy. Your commitment, your technical expertise, and your active participation will elevate this mission to new heights. I urge all of you to participate actively in today's session, ask your daily operational challenges, and provide us with your valuable suggestions. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable address for our participants. I would like to call Dr. Tripta Thakur, Director General, NPTI. NPTI. So, before start, Madam address, one brief profile, Madam, I read here. It is Dr. Tripta Thakur, Director General, first woman Director General NPTI. Under the hydrodynamic leadership, NPTI has achieved remarkable milestones, including the mandate for cybersecurity certification program for the power sector and mandatory foundation course for the fresh recruitment of all CPSE and autonomous bodies under the Ministry of Power. Her exceptional stewardship has driven NPTI to achieve its highest ever revenue alongside the establishment of National SCADA Resources Center. Moreover, NPTI has become an institutional partner for the prestigious V-Power initiative of South Asia Gender and Energy Facilities at the World Bank, empowering women in energy projects across South Asia. Dr. Thakur has also been instrumental in Superhead, a capacity building program for manpower under the RDSS scheme. As the former head and professor of electrical engineering at NIT Bhopal, she brings a rich legacy and of teaching and research with nearly 100 publications to her credit. She holds a graduate degree in electrical engineering and master degree in power electronics from IIT Kanpur and PhD from IIT Delhi and University of Dundee, UK. Her global recognition also including being a Commonwealth Research Scholar. She was also appointed as the consultant for the technical evaluation of rehabilitations of Sardar Sarovar project by the Supreme Court of India. Recently, MAMS has been confirmed with the Women in Power Award for the year of 2024 by the Indian Smart Grid Forum. STME Women Award 2024 by Madhya Pradesh government and Srimati Susma Swaraj Stri Shakti Engineering Samman in the August 2024. I request Madam address our participants. Thank you. I request Director General, Madam, please. Due to some technical issue, Madam may join very soon. Please wait. Thank you. Due to some technical issues, Madam unable to join this address session. So I would like to call Prabhash Ankuriji for vote of thanks, and further we start the sessions immediately by 11 o'clock. Thank you.
A very good morning to the respected dignitaries during the inaugural session and the valued participants from DVC, RVUNL, SSPL, and Vasu Enterprises, Varanasi. I am privileged to propose the vote of thanks during this inaugural session of this one-day free online training cum awareness program on biomass pellets co-firing in thermal power plants for thermal power plant officials under the SAMARTH mission. For conducting this online training program, we are highly thankful to our respected Director General Madam for her kind and active support in all respects for conducting this online training program. Along with her, we are also thankful to Sri Anil Babeja sir, Mission Director of the SAMARTH mission, for his active support for conducting this training program. We are also thankful to our Director, Dr. N.K. Srivastava, for his support for conducting this training program onlinely. And we are also highly thankful to our Principal Director, Sir, Sri S.K. Srivastava, NPTI Durgapur, for his support in all respects to conduct this training program and his continuous encouragement. We are highly thankful to different participating organizations, as I told, DVC, RVUNL, SSPL, Vasu Enterprises, etc. And it would be suitable to propose thanks to all the guest faculties from different organizations like CEA, Heat Exchange Group Limited, UT, DVC, and Nava Power Limited, L&T, Rajpura, TPP, Bliss Consultants, etc. For sparing their invaluable time to share their experiences to the valued participants. I hope that it will be a very fruitful session for all the participants. I thank the program director of this program, Sri V. Virana, Assistant Director, for his rigorous effort to join all the participants into this program. and arranging such valuable faculties for the program. I hope that it will be very much beneficial for all the participants, and also request to the participants that you please interact with the faculties and don't keep anything unanswered in your mind, and you just continue asking questions to the faculties. Thank you. I wish great success for the training program.
Thank you, Ankuriji, sir, for valuable vote of thanks. I request all to join by 11 o'clock. We'll start the session by first session by Manoj Yadav, Deputy Director, CA and Crop Mission. So thank you, sir, and thank you for one love. Sir.
Virana ji, can we start? We are already late.
Oh, okay, sir. Please carry on, sir. Please.
Without any.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Sharing my slide. My slide is visible. Hello.
Yes, sir, visible.
Okay. So good morning, all.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to all the.
Good morning, sir.
And all the participants.
Good morning.
Good
morning, sir.
Good morning. I am Manoj Yadav, member SAMARTH and Deputy Director, Central Electricity Authority. So we'll just browse through what is SAMARTH and why we are conducting this workshop or training program, and why we are moving towards biomass and all. So I'll just give a gist of things, and then we will have different sessions on various topics. We'll start here. Okay. So this is what we will go through. In my presentation, there will be introduction to biomass co-firing, then the potential of agro residue in our country, what government initiatives have been taken till date to utilize this potential, and what is the present status and major development in this sector, and what challenges we are facing, and what is the future plan way forward. Okay. To start with, first I would like to add, start with why we are moving towards renewable sources of energy. Because as we are all aware, these fossil fuels like coal or oil and gas are limited in nature. Besides, they pollute the atmosphere. If you go by the stats, globally, the rate with which we are consuming coal, we will be able to consume only till next 80-90 years. Now, if you see from India's point of view, last year some 1100 million metric ton of coal was consumed for the financial year 23-24. 24-25. And out of that, around 850 million metric ton of coal was consumed by thermal power plants. So basically 75-80% of major coal consumer in our country is thermal power plants. Now the problem with coal is, when we consume coal or we utilize coal for different purposes, what happens is we are removing carbon from ground and emitting it into the atmosphere. This leads to increase in greenhouse gases. Now, greenhouse gas, when the greenhouse gases increase, there is a term called climate change. You might be hearing about it on various forums about climate change. So how it is going to affect us? If we see what are the impact of climate change can impact our cropping pattern. If you see the way in India is an agro-based country, a majority of you see the cropping is based on climate. So if there is a change in climate, your crops might get affected. Change in climate is affecting the sea level as well. There are cases where countries, especially small islands, their sea level is rising. So it is creating problem for them. Now, what happens if, say, few countries go down the water? People will be migrating to other places. Now, when some, when a decent number of people or a number of people migrate from one place to another, there is always a, you can see the history. It creates a kind of conflict and wars. So if you are aware of some international dynamics, you will see most of the wars or conflicts are based around this migration issue. So basically, if you are able to avoid this climate change, you are going to avoid future crisis in terms of sustainability of this planet as well as global peace. So you are going to support global peace from this this approach. So this was just to start with why we are switching to some renewable sources or neutral carbon neutral fuel. So how the biomass is carbon neutral? Now biomass becomes biomass becomes carbon neutral because during its growth it consumes carbon from atmosphere, and when you burn it again it goes to atmosphere. So it is a closed carbon cycle, which makes it a carbon neutral fuel. So if we are able to replace coal by biomass, we will be able to reduce the coal consumption of our country. Now you might be aware of this Panchamrit action plan. India has committed to reach net zero emission by 2070. So this is one of the steps which will definitely help in that direction. Now, why it is convenient to go for biomass co-firing. Now that is because we can use the existing infrastructure. We don't have to build a new thing which would take a lot of time, lot of money. So it is very convenient to go for this option. As I have already covered the greenhouse gas reduction, if a country has various options for energy sources, it enhances the energy security of the country. Suppose one of the resources gets depleted, or for some reasons you are not able to use that. So we have a good option to for energy security point of view. So it adds to that. And there is income generation from this process, which we will be seeing in the upcoming slides. This is a very common question, that if biomass co-firing by biomass firing we can replace coal, why we cannot move to 100% biomass firing plant? So as I have said, it would be requiring a new infrastructure, which will be a high cost option. Also, it is a low efficiency option, and then there will be other challenges as well. Whereas if we go for biomass co-firing, we will be able to do it with the existing infrastructure, that we will be able to implement it immediately. That flexibility is given by this biomass co-firing process. So just to give a perspective, in India, around 774 million metric ton of biomass is generated per year, out of which around 228 million metric ton of biomass is surplus. Now, when we say surplus, in India there is a huge consumption of biomass in say fields, fodder for animals, and other usage. In fact, in villages, if it is also used for fuel purpose. So besides that, the remaining biomass, that is 228 million, it is still surplus. So it is a huge amount of biomass. If we can switch to this fuel, it would aid to India's move towards carbon neutral fuel. And just in India, there is a thermal power plant installed capacity is around 214 gigawatt. If we go for 5% co-firing, we will be only consuming 38 million metric ton of biomass out of 228. So it is around say 20%. So the point is there is no issue from raw material point of view. Just to give a gist of how it works, like I said, 800 to 850 million metric ton of coal was consumed last year. So if you say 10% of that goes to 80 million metric ton of coal, if you replace that 10% with is possible. Now, say if you just take up the last year data, 1800 billion units was total generation. So out of that, you can replace that at least 100 billion units can be replaced by biomass, which is considered a renewable energy source. This slide just gives the indication of how much carbon we are able to save. As I've already said, that emission of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere is creating this global warming and climate change. So to cater to that problem, this mission was established, and these are the numbers which give you a perspective how if you replace coal 5%, 10%, or 20% in thermal power plants, how we are able to save CO2, how much we are able to save. Now, how it all started, say in November 2017, the government of India released advisory to all the power plants and state governments to start co-firing biomass in the thermal power plants. And side by side, there was experiments going on in NTPC Dadri. Say 4th December 2018, in NTPC Dadri, stage 1, 210 megawatt, they co-fired. First commercial co-firing was done, successful commercial co-firing. They tried at 5%, 10%, and they successfully co-fired. In January 2020, they were able to co-fire in their 500 megawatt unit as well. So basically, before going into implementing it to all India level, the government of India has already experimented it and assured that there are no issues. And then the next step was taken in July 2021 of Constitution of National Biomass Mission, because co-firing requires a strong supply chain and other factors to cater, so that to address the problems, other problems, you need a team to make it practical. So, and then subsequently, based on the users' feedback, based on the market scenario, the policies went on. Policies were revised, basically to cater to address the problems of thermal power plants, to address the problems of other stakeholders. Now, just how SAMARTH is made up of. It is headed by Ministry of Power, and it has got a 3-tier structure. At the top of the tier is steering committee head, which is headed by Secretary Power, then followed by executive committee, which is headed by a member thermal CEA, then mission directorate headed by executive director NTPC. And there are 5 subgroups. I mean, I'm just discussing the structure of SAMARTH mission. So the subgroups were designed such that each subgroup is headed by the relevant topic, the relevant subject they have been assigned, and organization that is being taken care of. And If you see, subgroup 1 was looking into research on properties and characteristics of biomass. Similarly, subgroup 2 was assigned the task of boiler design for biomass co-firing, technical specification finalization. Subgroup 3 is working on supply chain. Subgroup 4 is working on lab certification bodies for testing. And subgroup 5 is working on regulatory framework. Now, these subgroups, they constantly interact with these stakeholders. We get the feedback on things, and then accordingly, things are moving. The mission is made up of people from different organizations, NTPC, CEA, DVC, MNRE, NPTI, NTPC, VHEL, PEE, CPRI. So it's a team from various organizations. Experts from various organizations are part of this team. Now, what initiatives taken by SAMARTH mission? That's TPP co-firing challenges. So it has worked in the SOPs things, technical guidance, standardization, model contract was released, market development work, long-term contract concept was introduced, and issue of dedicated BIS standards, identification of NABL labs, ecosystem development, that capacity building program. Like this is one of the capacity building program, awareness program. So we keep on interacting with farmers, TPP officials, stakeholders, so that we are able to communicate them about the mission, about the way they can solve their problems. Capital goes from MNRE and CPCB, which we will be seeing in the upcoming slides. This is the progress what we have achieved till date. Now we have reached total co-packing reached 32 lakh metric ton, which have been done in 71 thermal power plants all over the country. Specifically, NCR is leading in this. 24.5 lakh metric ton of biomass has been co-fired in NCR out of 32 all India. So, and if you see from last year 23-24, so 4 to 5 times it has increased co-firing. And in the upcoming slides, you will be able to see the pellet manufacturing capacity have also increased, say 4 to 5 times. So things are moving, in parallel. On policy advocacy, the mission was involved in revised model contract, which is prepared, which is under review by Ministry of Power, and benchmark pricing was notified for torrefied and non-torrefied pellets in NCR. Then the CFA policy was revised. Earlier, the MNRE CFA policy was on lower side. Then, based on feedback from various stakeholders, mission took up and it was revised to now it's a good numbers. Monthly review meetings to ensure compliance of co-firing mandate. This is what we do on the basis. Awareness and training program. Now this is, as I said, 100 awareness program. Awareness and training program. There are training program also being conducted by mission with the help of Power Sector Skill Council and Power Foundation of India in various pellet manufacturing units. The objective is to, because it is a new sector, the objective is to train the manpower basically on safety aspects, operational aspects, the way they can improve the operational efficiency, improve the safety, and reduce the downtime of the machines, and etc. And there were training of TPP lab chemist was also conducted, and national conference was conducted on June 2025. So these are the steps taken to create more awareness to so that the participation of stakeholders increases. We want more and more farmers, more and more pellet manufacturers, more and more thermal power plant to be part of this mission, so that we are able to achieve our target of net zero by 2060. Now, for ease of doing business, there are financial assistance from MNRE. There is a CPCB scheme which provides grants to the pellet manufacturers. And CPCB is basically for NCR region, and MNRE scheme is all India. There are banks. Though RBI has put up this thing into priority lending sector, so that it increases the ease of doing business. From R&D perspective, there were 12 projects which are being conducted. Now, why we are doing R&D? Because we have already in NTPC Dadri, as I have said, we have already successfully co-fired. So at the same time when mission was made, R&D research and development work was also started. Now, why we are getting into this? The reason is compared to coal, the biomass pellets which we are co-firing have got some different properties. Different in the sense, the VM of coal is on lower side, say 20-22%, but VM of volatile matter of biomass is on higher side. Similarly, the ash content of coal is on higher side, say 40%. Ash content of biomass, it varies from 10 to 15, say 20%. So mixed carbon is also different. So basically at elemental level, they have got some difference. And some alkali elements are also there in biomass, say potassium, potassium and sodium. So to study the impact of these things on thermal power plant, specifically the boiler and the other component in thermal power plant, these research projects were taken up. So the teams involved were NETRA, which is a research wing of NTPC, CPRI, National Institute of Punjab Agricultural University. There's a lot of organizations were involved in this research. And out of 12, almost 10 projects are completed. And what we have, the key findings clearly state that if you go for, say, 10% co-firing, there should be no issue. If you go for non-torrefied biomass, for torrefied biomass, 20% co-firing is possible. So it has given a positive outcome till date, and this why I'm sharing this is that experimentally, physically, experiment has also proved positive that we can move in this direction, and the research projects are also complementing it. So that basically what happens is once if somebody want to start co-firing, they have got a lot of doubts and confusion why we should start, to why we have covered because of climate change and greenhouse gas effects, and how whether we should start or not. To cover that, these are the answers from research projects, from experimental point of view. It has been taken care of. And the socio-economic impact, we have already discussed this. We have saved a lot of CO2. The stubble burning has reduced. Now, stubble burning, mostly people say it is a NCR problem. But if you see, there are a lot of stubble burning happening in India. If you really go to, south or say MP or Chhattisgarh or Karnataka, you will find there are areas where stubble burning has been taking place. Now, stubble burning, why it is a big problem? What happens whenever this stubble burning takes place? First of all, it affects the fertility of soil. It reduces the fertility of soil. There is a misconception that if we burn the this parali or something like that in field, and it will improve the fertility of soil. This is a misconception. Basically, it affects the nutrients of the soil. Over the period of time, it may give adverse effects. Secondly, whenever you go for stubble burning and all these things, you might have came across this thing in news and all, that AQI has deteriorated, PM 2.5 has reached this level, PM 10 has reached this level. Now, why these things are, we are talking about this PM 2.5, and basically 2.5 is 2.5 micrometer size of a particle, and 10 is 10 micrometer. So when these particulate matter increase in the atmosphere, and when you inhale it, say PM10 has got effect on your, it has got a temporary effect kind of. You might get, cold, you might get coughing, asthma, and it can increase your these things. But PM 2.5 is more dangerous. It goes into your lungs. It might enter into your bloodstream, and it can have a very adverse effect over a period of time. So today you might not know, but over a period of time, say 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, we might face a lot of problems for which we might not have any solution. So to avoid those things, the government and every stakeholders are trying to stop this stubble burning. If you might have heard about the penalties, fields. So why these extreme steps are taken by the governments? Because of the reason to the people of this country. Now this is just to, these numbers indicate how we have improved from, say, we started in 2019-20, and in today till date, all India we have reached say 32 million metric ton of 32 lakh metric ton of biomass usage. So last 1 year it has taken hugely. Steep rise is there, you can see, and we are expecting further rise in the coming future. This is for NCR because NCR is predominantly co-firing compared to, if you see the numbers, 32 lakh metric ton to 24 metric ton, majority is being done in NCR. So NCR has set a very good example, and they are leading the TPPs in NCR, especially the 11 TPPs which are co-firing, and they have clearly created a you can say a very good example that they have been co-firing for last say 5 years, but last years everyone has picked up 2%, 3%, 4%. So we are improving in that, and most of the cases there have been no issues. And this also adds to our, this should also add to our confidence of co-firing. That is what I want to convey from this slide. Now, as I have already mentioned, that co-firing has increased, and on the similar level, if you see from 2022 to 2025, the installed capacity of pellet manufacturing plant have also increased, say 4 to 5 times. Similar the way we have already seen that co-firing has increased, and it has supported the pellet manufacturing capacity. Now, what are the challenges we are facing in this technological constraint? So, standardization pellet manufacturing machine, we are facing this. The pellet people who are into pellet manufacturing, they can address this problem very well. That there is lack of standardization. We are working on it. Mission has there is a committee. Mission is part of it, which is working on standardization of this pellet manufacturing machines. Pellet production capacity. Now, for NCR region, there is a significant rise. We are expecting a similar increase in other part of the country. But for that, we need the TPPs to come forward and start co-firing. At least start somewhere, so that the co-firing or the co-firing process supports, creates a supply chain of pellet manufacturers. So I think TPPs have a very major role to play in this, because somewhere they have to start. Once they start, automatically pellet production capacity will be taken care of. Supply chain issues. To address these supply chain issues, it was mainly in the beginning that there were issues, but now it is getting sorted in NCR. I think we are not facing any supply chain issues. Majority of plants are getting a good supply. So similarly, we are expecting to replicate this NCR model all over the country. And aggregation and storage, because it is again it's a challenge for TPPs for storage and handling raw biomass, especially because it's a new field. Sometimes it requires investment as well. So these are the major challenges we are facing. Beside this, if you go for the chemistry of biomass, it has got say some alkalis like potassium and sodium. Now these alkalis, they have got this. They make react with chlorine and they form salts, or they have got lower melting point. Now, if you see, mostly the furnace is around say 1400, 1600 degrees Celsius, and this alkali has got this melting point at around say 500, 600, sometimes 800. So their tendency of slagging and all is very high. So these are some technical problems which are under research, and most probably we have not faced. It was on theory. On if you go for nitty gritty, we were expecting, but till date we have not faced any problem. And on positive side, we have increased the co-firing from say 2022 to till date. It has been all positive till date. Now, what are the thrust areas? For mission point of view, in future we are expecting there will be increased tendering procurement by TPP. Now, we were getting feedback that how to start tendering and all. So what we have done is we have requested one of our NCR TPPs who will be presenting mostly in the next presentation will be from him, and he will be taking care of giving you a very good insight into how they have went to the procurement of pellet, because it was challenging, and how they have been able to successfully implement co-firing in their power plant. Because as I already said, NCR is leading. So mostly even in the next programs also we will be having this because they have somebody who has delivered will be the best person to tell us how they have sorted out all the challenges. Now the next is developing production capacity across the country. This is, I think, we have already shared that if the thermal power plant start tendering, they start getting into co-firing, automatically this change will come up. So somewhere thermal power plants have to take initiatives, and once they start, everything will fall in place. And identifying proven technology. Now the torrefied and non-torrefied pellets, the technology, of course, it is maturing, and as the co-firing increases, this will mature more. Everything, every technology, if you see thermal power plants, say 50 years ago, so and today, so it has matured and it has gone to next level. A lot of control system, a lot of automation. So that will definitely come into it once the co-firing starts. Well, supply chain is there. The technology automatically will be taken care of. Workforce capacity building, I've already said. It was mission has taken this task of skill development. So we had a target of 500 people to be trained for this financial year, and we have already achieved 450, around 450, 453. So we will be achieving that target. So the point is, the government, the mission, everyone is trying to attack the problem from all the corners. What are the issues we are trying to solve it? So that's what I wanted to convey, and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable presentation. I hope participants enjoying this session, and Manoj sir very clearly explained some of the agri-missions on the use of agri-waste in thermal power plant. I would like to call Mr. Saurabh Patel, AGM Fuel Management and Policy Advocacy. Sir will take the procurement strategy, supplier coordination and quality control measure, challenges and mitigation strategy in increase biomass co-firing. Saurabh Patel brings over 18 years experience in coal and power sector. He has played a pivotal role across diverse functions, including operation, projects, coal and biomass sourcing, policy advocacy, and government coordinations. Mr. Patel has contributed significantly to the formulation and implementation of key sectoral policies, including coal consumption norms, biomass cost pass-through in energy charges, and certification frameworks by state-nominated agencies. He has also been instrumental in pioneering and advocacy biomass co-firing initiatives in Punjab since their inceptions, reflecting in commitments to sustainable energy practices. Sir, Saurabh Patel, sir.
Yes, good
Sir,
morning. Yeah,
please. Thank you, sir.
yes. So, my PPT is visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, may I proceed?
Sir, please.
Yes. I am Saurabh Patel and I am AGM Fuel Management at Nabha Power Limited. Nabha Power is a wholly owned subsidiary of Larsen and Toubro. We have our power plant very near to Chandigarh. So it is around 30 kilometers from Chandigarh, and we have here 1400 megawatt supercritical power plant, and this power plant has been built by L&T only in joint venture with Mitsubishi Japan. So we have this supercritical power plant here, and we have coal linkages from Coal India subsidiaries like SECL and NCL. And because our heat rate is one of the highest, heat rate is one of the lowest, means our efficiency is highest. Because of that, despite it is far away from the coal source, our merit order is always we are at the top of the merit order, because the scheduling is based on the merit order. So our scheduling is always at higher side, and our annual PLF is around, it is between 80 to 85%. And because of our technology and all, our availability is around 95%. And most important here to note that our efficiency that is measured in regarding power plant, it is measured in heat rate. So our net heat rate is 2 to 6.8. So normally, and the gross heat rate is around 2100. Normally for 21, for CERC allows for 2250. So you can imagine what kind of technology we have and what kind of efficiency we operate. And biomass co-firing, I will definitely go into detail. So this is the brief introduction about our power plant. Now I will go for this biomass co-firing procurement strategy. So here our coal consumption is in between 55 lakhs to 60 lakhs metric ton per annum. So as per the policy of basically you can say for the 300 plants who are 300 kilometers from NCR, they are mandated by Ministry of Environment that we have to mandatorily fire minimum 3% till last year, and this year onwards we have to co-fire minimum 5% of our total fuel. So last year we were required to fire around 1.8 lakhs, and this year onwards we are required to fire around 3 lakhs metric ton per year in order to safeguard from environment compensation. Because unlike other parts of India, in the 300 kilometer from NCR, there is penalty provision. So it is, and apart from that, Supreme Court and all other central ministries are critically monitoring, because the Delhi smog and the Punjab, parali burning is always in the headlines of the country. So the most important part, ultimately, it's all about business. So if you see the last year, we were facing the problem of basically the contracting and all, because the system was evolving. So the contract first that we adopted, that was provided by basically the model contract was provided by Ministry of Power, and definitely that was based on the certain assumptions. But every solution does not fit everywhere. So what happened, we adopted the same model as it is in our case. But in our case, we have 100% power purchase agreement with Punjab State Power Corporation Limited. So ultimately, we have to follow the rule and regulation of the Punjab government, because ultimately whatever biomass we will purchase and will co-fire, that has to be reimbursed by Punjab, because it is not possible that we do fire of around 200 crore, 300 crore rupees biomass and same is not reimbursed by the DISCOM, because that will be not sustainable model. So it has to be reimbursed by our DISCOM. So most important part is to follow the instructions from the central government and align with the rules and regulations of the Punjab state government and the state concerned regulator, that is PSERC here. So initially there was a lot of issues, but what model ultimately we adopted and succeeded, I will talk about that. So there were a lot of issues, but finally we come on the procurement strategy that worked for us. That is one of the most important issue that was coming initially, that most of the tenders were either having with very less amount of EMD, earnest money deposit, and the contract performance security was not adequate. It was basically kept to bring out the newcomers and small players. But what was happening, people are bidding, but they were quoting basically a very nominal amount. And ultimately the price was not up to the mark, and they were not able to perform. And because the earnest money deposit and CPS was so low that we could not able to punish them or take action against them adequately. So ultimately what was happening, because this is a government controlled procurement, so it was long time taking process. So we were we were again in the loop, and 2 months, 3 months were gone in the this tendering, then approvals and all the processes. So here we kept handsome amount of earnest money deposit and contract performance security for the tendering process. So in that way, only earnest bidders participated and they performed. So that was one of the key reasons that we succeeded. One important part I would like to say, I don't know if participants can ask the questions, but if any questions come in your mind, if you can ask, then definitely stop me and ask the questions. So here at Mission, representative has told that there is a benchmark price, but that benchmark price was announced by Government of India, but same was not adopted by Government of Punjab. So that was the major challenge for us, because we have to ultimately do the procurement and all the processes as per the rules and regulation of the Government of Punjab. So that was the biggest challenge. In order to come out from that challenge, this strategy worked out. So that is the important point, maybe kept in the mind, that benchmark price was not allowed for us. So we gone for the open tendering, and there was no benchmark price. Then the offered quantity, because our requirement was last year it was 600 metric ton. This year it is reaching about 1,000 metric ton per day. So we only allowed participants to participate minimum 100 metric ton per day. So because by doing so, we are having 8 to 10 suppliers only, not like 50 or 100. You might have heard that few of the NTPC power plants are having 50 and few are having even 100 suppliers. So it is really very, very challenging for a power plant to manage such a huge number of suppliers. So here we have around 8 to 10 suppliers, and minimum quantity for this year is 100 metric ton. So apart from that, we have also kept the pre-qualification criteria. Previously, it was not there in the initial tenders. Those tenders failed badly. So in order to avoid those failures, we started to keep technical criteria. It is not very stringent, but it is there, and financial also, because if party is will not be financially sound, then chances of failure is very, very high. So apart from that, we also kept our tender in such a way that it is competitive and wider participation. While Punjab government was pushing that the manufacturers should be allowed only from the Punjab, but we somehow succeeded to convince them that only Punjab will not be sufficient, because our plant is located on the corner of the Punjab and is very near to several very rich paddy area of the Haryana. So we should be allowed around 250 kilometers from the either it is falling in the Punjab or Haryana. So we are our tender is having the criteria that any manufacturing facility which is having 250 kilometers from our plant, that can supply. So that really helped us. And apart from that, initially a lot of ambiguity in technical and financial terms was there. Just like take an example, there is one parameter that instant moisture. Before unloading the consignment, we are checking the instant moisture, and thereafter we are also doing the proper total moisture complete testing. So we have clearly defined all those terms, and apart from that, we have also clearly defined what will be the entry time, exit time, and what will the procedure for the sampling, what will the payment terms. All those has been clearly defined, because these are the relatively small player, and their understanding of the tender is relatively low. So in order to handle these new people, your contract has to be very clear and very, you can say, precise kind of thing. And also they have to, before tendering, we approached to the prospective bidders, and we explained our contract terms, so that if there is any doubt, that can be clarified before the bidding. And apart from that, even though you might have heard that in a lot of government tender, particularly for this kind of, lot of approvals were required, because state government is involved, some central governments also intervention is there, and state regulator and those. So because of that, it takes time. But we, with our expeditious supply persuasion of all the concerned agencies, we succeeded in concluding our tender within, you can say, 1.5 months in it every time. So this also helped a lot in quickly concluding the tender and starting the supplies. And we basically do very good coordination with all the stakeholders, either internal or external. That also really helped, because a lot of internal stakeholders, because security team is there, then quality team is there, then coal handling plant is there, then operations team is there. So in a few power plants, it has been seen that there are a lot of inter-department issues are there, and that also affect the supply and all. So all those parts we handled well. Apart from that, we have kept the realistic payment terms and vendor-friendly documentation and all. That also helped a lot. And in addition, we also shown agility and also evolved ourselves, because what was our first tender and this year tender, whatever we experienced and whatever industry other experience in the sector, we accordingly changed and evolved our tender, and that is helping us in order to maximize our supplies. Any question?
Excuse me, sir.
May I proceed?
One question can I ask?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay.
Actually, I mean, what is the contract period in your case? 7 years or 5 years or 2 years?
Yeah. In our case, we keep tender for 1 year. It is not multi-year. Why it is like that? Because it is, in our case, it is non-torrefied, correct? So non-torrefied is not a very specialized kind of product. So it is if anyone establishes an industry, so it can sell to anyone. So we have 1 year and it is running very successful.
Okay.
Any other question?
Sir, one question, please.
Yeah.
Sir, what is the logic behind not going for a predetermined price that has been fixed up by central government? Because we have often observed that there is a very tendency of low quoting in these big tenders.
Yes, very good question. Actually, one price has been fixed, that is around 2.34, correct? Excluding GST. That price has been fixed by central government. But most important part, the agency, our customer is ready to pay that amount or not. That is the important part, because here we are the generator and we have to bill our expenses to our distribution company. And they are also having one set of, you can say, procurement guidelines, procurement structure is there. So, and they are not obliged to take the instruction. States are free to have their procurement guideline, procurement strategy as per their convenience. So Punjab did not adopt it as it is. Reason, what rationale they give, that if I am getting sufficient supply at a relatively lower price, then why I should adopt this price? So that was the given condition. That was the constraint in front of us, and we could not able to do much, because we had to ultimately limit ourselves with our customer. So in order to we are having this constraint. We are not having freedom. That freedom was having by the NTPC and other central government agents, central government generating agencies, and few of the other. How we safeguarded ourselves, that I am talking here. What we did, in order to avoid the non-serious players, we kept financial security, EMD and CPS, so that only serious player come in, correct? Apart from that, we also kept the technical and financial criteria. In addition to that, I will talk at length about the quality, because if your this is pure business, correct? Everyone try to maximize their profit. How they will try to maximize? There is only two things. One part is quality and one part is quantity. So quantity is it is not easy to manage.
Sir, due to some network issues, sir is unable to take. So please wait.
Hello.
Sir, please carry on.
Okay. So in order to avoid those kind of substandard and extraneous material, we have very stringent quality control system. That I will talk in next slide. Any other question regarding this procurement part?
Sir, this is one question. Then how did you determine the estimated price that should be mentioned in a tender? Did you mention any estimated price?
No, we don't mention. Our tender do not have any estimated price.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, in the Punjab case, in their tenders for such kind of procurement, there is no estimated price. That practice is not there.
And sir, how much cap? Did you fix any cap on the upper side of the tender that will be going to the L1 bidder price? Any cap
Yes.
on the maximum?
We have two in the pricing. There is two parts. One is biomass X factory price, and second is the transportation. So biomass X factory price is capped at the benchmark price. It is capped at benchmark price, and the transportation is free. It can be quoted any number.
Okay, okay, very clear. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any other question?
So do you adopt any reverse auction process?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Reverse auction process?
Yes. We have reverse auction process for each and every tender. We have reverse auction process. That makes our task further challenging, because that makes people become very much competitive and aggressive, and sometimes it basically result in basically you can say unworkable prices.
Actually, whenever we are adopting reverse auction process, there is a high possibility to sacrifice with the quality.
Yes. But that part I will talk. Quality part I will talk.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any other? Should I proceed?
Sir, one thing, because of this inherent problem in the reverse auction that you have rightly mentioned, that there is a chance of compromising of quality, supply constant, etc., and the bidders are tend to get the tender and goes even the rational price below the rational price. So some organization, including NTPC, have done away with this process. So are you satisfied with this reverse auction, or you think this is going to be?
There is no direct answer. This reverse auction is no doubt in several cases it is resulting in unworkable prices.
Exactly,
I agree with you. But actually, we are not free to adopt. We are not here to that should we continue with reverse auction or should we omit this reverse auction. So we ultimately this has been basically imposed on us from the government of Punjab, because we have to take reimbursement from them. So whatever process they do adopt, we have to blindly adopt that process. So you are right. You have rightly said reverse auction is in most of the cases it basically results in unworkable prices. But yes,
thank you, sir.
Even the given constraint, we are performing. I will tell you how. Yes.
So, do you have some pro rata reduction of moisture, total moisture on prices?
No,
as penalty?
because GCV ARB is there. So GCV ARB is anyway factored in with total moisture, because if total moisture will be high, GCV ARB at the lower side, so automatically it will be compensated.
Sir, is there any such season-wise capping of total moisture content?
Yeah, cap is there. So cap is there. So if moisture is more than 14%, then consignment
because
is
in winter season, sir, crops which are used for biomass production have lesser moisture content, sir. That's why I'm telling.
So we don't have any season-wide moisture limit. We have simply having straight 14%.
Oh.
Yeah.
Beyond 40%, it is rejected, sir.
Yes.
The consignment is rejected.
Consignment rejected. Yes.
This is the tolerable limit you have fixed up.
Yes.
So is there any guideline in respect of this, or you are putting this as
So
well?
it is this 14% is in the model contract that has been provided by Ministry of Power.
Okay.
Any other question?
Sir, one thing I want to know, you told that you check first instant moisture.
Yes.
Then you do detailed analysis.
Yes.
So suppose from the instant moisture you receive 13% moisture, and in detailed moisture it is beyond 14%.
Yes.
In that case, what will you do?
We will, because we have already accepted the consignment. So even if it will be at higher side, we will do the payment because, but what will happen if total moisture will be for 15%, it will reduce its GCB-RB and it will, and if GCB-RB will be at lower side, penalty will be imposed and contractor will be penalized in terms of payment.
So what is the purpose of checking moisture twice?
Yes, very important, very important question. It is just a deterrent. You know, the biomass and non-torrefied biomass is hygroscopic material, correct? So if moisture will be at higher side, then it will be not having proper, you can say, durability, and it may have sticky nature. It may have after unloading, it might be it may have moisture is around 22%, you can say 30%. Then it may stick with the other coal and other material. So it may lock the entire system. And if moisture is further higher, it will reduce the net heat rate, and it will reduce the you can say the heat rate. It will reduce your efficiency of the boiler. So it is a primary deterrent that has been kept. So so that vendor do not supply of high moist material. But if once in a while, if there is any layering case on the top, some quality is different and lower level material is different, then automatically the GCB-RB is at lower side, then vendor will be punished. Hello, may I proceed or?
Please proceed, sir.
Sir, one idea that I want to have, is there any clause that which determines the grindability or hardness of this supplied material?
Sir, actually, this is there are certain criteria that are simply written, but on certain parameters there is penalty provision. Correct. So for this grindability and durability, in current tender there is no penalty, but size is there. So if and fines, penalty of fines is there. So if the size and durability, size is of very much higher side, and you can say the durability is poor, then it may be chances of converting in fines is high. So indirect deterrent is there, but durability and this grindability penalty or criteria is not there, because it's not easy to test for each and every day consignment for
Yes,
all
sir,
these.
yes, that it is not mentioned in the NIT as a criteria. Or
Yes,
as
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
In general, yes, please.
Myself, Priyanka. Sir, KTPS, I am from KTPS DVC, sir. KTPS में सर नोटिस किया गया है सर, जब बायोमास यूज करते तो उस समय मिल का करंट बढ़ जाता है। क्या सर ये आपके साइड भी कोल मिल में इशू होता है क्या सर?
अभी तक के ऐसा कुछ मेजर ऑब्जर्वेशन तो नहीं आया है। हम लोग इसको ब्लेंडिंग करके यूज करते हैं। हम लोग
जी सर, ब्लेंडिंग करके ही यहाँ भी यूज होता है सर।
ये आपने कितना परसेंट ब्लेंड किया था?
सर 5 से 10% तक ब्लेंडिंग होता है सर।
अच्छा, हम लोगों ने 5 से 10% किया है। इसमें एक बार आप चेक करवाइए कि जो आपके यहाँ क्वालिटी रिपोर्ट हो रहा है, क्या वही एक्चुअल में क्वालिटी रिसीव हुआ है क्या? इसमें एक जो सबसे बड़ा कोर प्रॉब्लम है बायोमास में, वो यही हो रहा है कि मटेरियल सप्लाई कुछ और हो रहा है और रिपोर्टिंग कुछ और हो रही है। तो इसमें आपको क्वालिटी के लिए बहुत ही ज्यादा स्ट्रिंजेंट रहना पड़ेगा कि इसके जो साइज है, इसके जो ड्यूरेबिलिटी है और इसके जो फाइन्स है, और जिस मटेरियल से ये इंटेंडेड है, जो लिखा हुआ है एग्रीकल्चरल बेस रेजिडुअल मटेरियल से बनना चाहिए, या जो आपके हॉर्टिकल्चर का जो प्रूनिंग होता है उन चीजों से बना होना चाहिए। क्या ये उसी चीज से बना हुआ है या किसी इंडस्ट्री बेस से बना हुआ है? तो ये चीजें आपको इंश्योर करनी पड़ेगी कि जो मटेरियल का बना होना चाहिए, जिस रॉ मटेरियल का, उसी मटेरियल का बना हुआ है कि नहीं बना हुआ है। अदरवाइज जो आपका प्रॉपर मटेरियल है उसी से अगर बना होगा तो देखिए इसके अंदर दो प्रॉब्लम आ रही है। कुछ ऑक्सिलरी पावर कंजम्पशन बढ़ जाता है, कुछ बेसिकली हीट रेट की भी कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, क्योंकि मिल का टेम्परेचर थोड़ा डाउन लोअर साइड में रखना पड़ता है इन सर्टेन केसेस इन ऑर्डर टू मिल ऑफ द सेफ्टी ऑफ द मिल एंड ऑल। वो प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, बट अभी करंट वगैरह का कुछ इतना नोटेबल मेरे नॉलेज में नहीं है, फिर भी मैं चेक करूंगा।
जी सर।
हम लोगों ने ये दो चीज टेकअप किया है ऑलरेडी। बेसिकली जो नेट हीट रेट में एक इंक्रीज आ रहा है, वो ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ दिस auxiliary power consumption and handling and all, and this reduced you can say the temperature of the mill.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, please carry on.
Okay. So the supplier coordination, it is not a big issue. It is it is normal as usual. Supplier coordination is basically basically we have proper system and for the truck entry and quality testing and then security testing and all those. So we have very smooth and system driven process, and we also ensure that the turnaround time of the truck is not at higher side, because in certain plants, because of coordination issue between security, then stores, then coal handling plant, then chemistry team, then operations team, this turnaround time within the plant is very, very high. So that makes the task of the suppliers and particularly the transporters involved, it's very, very higher side. So this unnecessary non-productive wastage of time increases the cost. Ultimately, everything comes from converted in the cost. So this kind of efficiency we have kept within our plant. So with this, suppliers are anyway happy. There is clarity of the contract terms. We whatever issues we faced in the first tender, we have gone in detail and clarified. We are very strict, and no deviation we do accept. If it is okay as per contract, then okay. It is not allowed as per contract, no. Simply yes or no is there. Then we have support and hand-holding. Even you are new, so we explain we call them, their entire team, we sit with them how we have to do this documentation, how is the billing and all, how you can increase your supply and all those technical guidance also we have provided. Then we have digitalization. We do accept most of the digital sign and most of the exchange of the documents over email. We discourage the hard copies to the extent possible. Then we have very good coordination with the suppliers, state, because state government is also involved, because there is certification involved that this PID has been procured from the required area. So certification, and then central authorities are also there. Then time we do pay on time, and we also take strict action against the non-performance and defaulters. Any question? Any question in this regard? How should I proceed?
Please, sir, proceed, sir.
So this is the important part, the quality control. So,
sir, one request with you, sir. Yes. I have some pallet with me right now. Can I show? Okay, sir. Thank you.
1 minute. What do you want to show?
Pallets with me, sir. Some pallets I collected from other manufacturer. So I want to show them.
Please show.
This is the direct, whatever the parali. There is no process before processing. And then after this is the size, a different size of pellets, non-purified, and this is also non-purified, different size. And then after purified pellets, this is the non-purified. Okay. Then after purified, so this size. And this was collected at the time of DVC program was conducted in the last year, and I keep these things. So that way I want to show this one, sir. Thank you, sir.
Actually, it is not very clear. The photo that you are presenting, it is not very clear. So it is
actually some people are not seen there previously. No? That was
okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So they can simply do search on Google. There is a lot of pictures available on Pellet,
Yes,
and all.
Okay, sir.
Available.
Thank you.
Yeah. So PPTs, I think PPT is not required now. The most important part is basically here is the quality control. So in quality, simple one concept is there. Whatever sample you are collecting, it must be representative for the entire consignment. It is not a rocket science. So it should be representative for the consignment that has been delivered. But it is being delivered by trucks. And if you take the sample from the truck top without using any, you can say, auger or any other mechanical device which can penetrate up to the bottom, then you will be compelled to take sample from the top only. And definitely, if you collect the sample from the top, then vendors, suppliers are very smart. They will keep something else in the bottom side, and at the top they will supply something else. This problem was very much in the starting phase when the supplies started across the sector. And also, it is not very easy to do sample by the auger, because it is unlike coal. It's you can say that durability is not very high. So it can when you do the mechanical sampling, it may break, and it may increase its fines percentage. So how you can do the representative sampling, and thereafter the sample preparation and testing part is there. The most important part, the 95%, if you see any study of any bulk material, the most of the errors that do happen, that happens only during the preparation part, 95%, then 3 to 4% during the then sampling part, so 95% during sampling, then preparation, and very little during the testing. So here the sampling is the most important part. So in most of the cases, either it can be done by the auger and other thing, but there is some issues of the I have already told, the fines and issue may occur. And one way may be after unloading. After unloading, you unload the truck and then take the sample. So this is the options available, and if you have proper sampling and testing procedure, and there is no, you can say, anyone can, you can comply your procedure without any bias or any external influence, then proper quality will come, and accordingly their payment will be determined. If any will supply substandard material, its GCB will be at lower, total moisture will be at higher side, its GCB will be at lower side, and automatically its payment will be at quite lower side. And if GCB will be at lower side, what happens? It also increases per GCB cost in terms of transportation also, because he will be supplying lower GCB and transportation cost will be same. So in that way, the contractor will be punished very badly, and for the next time, he will ensure that for your plant, only quality material is dispatched. So most important part is quality testing, and if the plant is able to successfully maintain the proper quality sampling, preparation and testing and reporting, then I think the majority problem is solved. And anyway, the further then the results come in, and payment, there is simply two parts, quality and quantity. So quantity comes very quickly the same day, and the quality results come in couple of days. Then we have payment terms of 15 days. So we do payment very quickly, and if suppliers are getting payment, payment is getting rotated fast, they are more happy to supply material, because ultimately in this business lot of new entrants are there, new entrepreneurs are there, so they are very happy to scale up their business. And because they are not having very deep pocket of the working capital, so so they need a very quick rotation of the fund. So that by that way we are helping the entire supply chain, and we are getting adequate supply in terms of quantity and quality both. Yeah, that's majority. I think whatever I want to basically convey, that I have conveyed. If any question or any further discussion anyone feel, I am open for that.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, please.
Good morning, sir. I am Deepak Kumar from DVC Kodarma. Sir, I want to know that how do you blend biomass at your plant, sir? Is it manual or?
Yes, yes. Actually, here we are.
Because many times we have observed that actually I belong to maintenance. So many times we have observed that when mill got failure, so that time we observed that very strong mixture of biomass was found that time.
Very strong?
Very, I mean to, it was looking like biomass is mixing more. Means it was not lean mixture, okay? So
some smell, some obnoxious smell was coming, or any other issue? What you think?
That we could not observe, sir. But its appearance, what I observed from its appearance, it was not lean mixture actually. So that's why we want to know that is it some manual method or auto method that that is being used at your plants.
Understood. So here, one part what you can keep that we are now, our new contracts are also having one clause of if the consignment received at the plant and if bad smell is coming or any other suspicion is there, then we reject the consignment. Even we don't test the total moisture. So that part you can keep. Apart from that, if the material is proper and it is properly mixed, so unlike you, we are not having the proper liberty of the spending on the infrastructure and all. So we have filed our petition with our concerned regulator, but it is pending with them. So right now we are compelled to do the blending with the existing infrastructure. So what we are doing, we are simply unloading the trucks at the coal handling yard, and we are basically on the coal piles itself at one of the coal pile, and we are at few layer of the coal and few layer of the biomass, and it is being lifted by the reclaimer only.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So we have proposed for the proper handling system, blending system, but the proposal is yet to be approved, and then once it will be approved by concerned regulator, then only we will able to implement the same. Till now, we have no option but to manage with the existing infrastructure and facility that we have for the coal.
Sir, myself from BTPS DVC. So what you have told now, I want to know that are you able to maintain the proportion of blending with the coal, means biomass 5 to 10% proportion you are able to maintain?
Whatever quantity we do receive in a day, we do fire the same day.
Okay, but are you able to maintain the proportion? By
no, it is not possible, because we don't have proper system for blending and mixing and all. So because it is manual, and so it is not possible to properly manage the percentage of blending.
And have you thought of any mechanism?
Yes, we have already gone to our regulator, So it is, but it is challenged by our DISCOM, so it will take its due course. So once it will be approved, we will definitely install the proper unloading, handling, and blending system.
Sir,
What I think that we all power utilities, we have to think that how we can increase the percentage, or how we can maintain the proportion.
Yes,
So we
definitely.
have
That is very important.
Because all of us are facing the same problem.
Yes.
Sir, Saurabh sir.
Yes.
Sir, after this, one faculty is waiting. Actually, sir will be joined. Sarvan sir is waiting.
Okay.
After sir, some question session time is there.
Okay. So now I think we should conclude, because I think I already exceeded my time. So if any questions is there, you can connect it separately.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
I would like to call Dr. Sarvan Bhavan Balakrishnan. For the topic is co-firing biomass international perspectives with reference to United Kingdom. Before start, I would like a brief, sir, about Dr. Sarvan Bhavan is chartered mechanical engineering specialized in energy with more than 28 years of experience. He is currently working as a mechanical lead in international organization. Dr. Bhavan extensively worked for various power plant ranging from small captive power to large supercritical power plants. He is involved with coal, oil, natural gas, thermal, and waste to energy gasification grade-fired power plants. His job involves overseeing the design and engineering deliberation of company. This includes various engineering aspects of power engineering plants responsible for timely deliver of design, engineering 3D models and layouts, material selections, review of design thickness and compliances of pressure part design, mode, code calculation, preparation of specification of for what out items, energy utilization, efficiency, and performance optimization of various system of power plants. He has developed in-house thermodynamic models for basic and detailed design, including pressure parts design, optimization of auxiliary power consumption, pressure drop calculation, material selection, retrofitting of boiler, remained life assessment studies, etc. He has also involved in carbon emissions reduction, biomass co-firing waste to energy projects through gasification and combustion. He successfully applied various pollution control technology in SOx and NOx through flue gas desulfurization over fire, air, and SCR, SNCR, FGR technologies for the complying with the latest European directives, LCPD. He has also practiced on various legislation of power plants, such as European directives on PED, WID, UK HSE standardization. He served as assistant director in training resources unit and AD to Director General NPTI National Power Training Institute Faridabad from 1996 to 2005. During this period, he also worked as a faculty for energy management, renewable energy faculty for MBA in power management. He managed to edit the Power Plant Performance Volume 1 and other 53 manuals within a span of 4 years. He worked for NPTI SR from 2005 to 2006 as a charge for PGDC in thermal power plant and left to UK on the innovation of Alstom Power UK. He studied BE Mechanical Engineering at the University of Madras, MTech and PhD at IIT Delhi, He is a member of Institute of Engineers India and Energy Institution UK. He published in international journal and conferences and invented to delivery technical speech at IEA, World Energy Council, EU Regional Forum, IAPWS, IMMM, Institution of Mechanical Engineers, UK, International Association of Steam and Power, etc. Awards and achievements adjudged with special award for the extraordinary contribution and extremely performance by NPTI during the year of 2001 and 2, conferred as a best faculty of NPTI on the eve of National Teacher Day for MBA Power Management program during the year of 2002 and 3. Sir, Sarvan sir.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Virana. Can you hear me?
Please, sir. Sir.
Can you hear me, please? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
And your
Thank you.
presentation
Thanks
is
for
on.
your.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you for your introduction, and thank you, Mr. Saurabh, for your great presentation. I was listening, and it's really interesting to listen. I'm sorry I could cut because of the time shortages. Otherwise, I would have listened more about your presentation. In my presentation, it is basically the previous presentations in the year I have done, and it's a kind of updated version. My perspective is basically on co-firing biomass, how it has been done with special references to the United Kingdom, and how it can be applied for the Indian perspective. So I'm trying to keep that as the basis, and my presentation is based on that. I'll try to cover as much as possible. In the basis, someone asked about how to compare this with the Indian power sector with the UK power generation. So I just give you an overview of UK power generation, and then I will give some available co-firing technologies, and recently hydrogen-based technologies, how the biomass can help on, and biomass and other renewables, how it is being interlinked in that, and what perspectives that we can carry from the UK to the recommendations for the Indian implementation. Overview, I just provide some basic ideas like what are the installed capacities, biomass mechanisms, and the situations about the coal, and how it has been utilized with the biomass, and what are the measures that has been taken, and what is the other aspects with respect to the emissions. So if you see here, this is the UK plant capacity, and this is roughly about you can see 70,000 megawatt. That's the kind of a range which is there, and the data is available further. But this, the mix is actually completely changed. Like if you see here in 2020, the coal-fired capacity is roughly about 7,000, but now it has completely nil and it's zero. And oil-fired is also very low, and the mixed and the gas-fired, that is the largest volume, roughly about 40 to 50% of the capacities, and rest of the things are like wind, solar, and other nuclear and all. That would be another 40%, and renewable and other things contributes roughly about 30%, like that. So the mix is completely different, and you can see how it has been used in the live. If you can have the chance to see the grid, if you can have the UK grid is directly available, I can share you in case if it is possible, so that you can have a direct view of what is happening in the current power plant scenario. So If you can see my screen.
Sir, your screen is off, sir.
Yeah, sorry.
Presentation screen is off.
Okay. Yeah, you can see now. It should supposedly work.
No, sir. Right now.
Yeah. So
Yes,
this
sir.
is the real-time screen. If you see that this is today's 10 minutes average, and at the moment it's about 21,000 megawatt, which is being used, and it was the yesterday's the maximum you can see about 30,000 megawatt. That's the range. And different like if you see in the smaller section, you can find it out, the different like this, how much with the each with that. If you can see the biomass, you can say 2.38. That's the kind of gigawatt. That means out of the 30,000, so roughly about 10% of that being used for yesterday's and if you type this grid watch, you can get that real time. And if you want to see the other things like individual ones, you can see like carbon neutral plants, how much it is there. You can get that in terms of the number of hours like that. So you can have a roughly good idea about how much nuclear, how much carbon neutral basically comes under the biomass and other areas, because when you are emitting the carbon generated from biomass, it is absorbed in the plant when it is growing, and again you are using it. So that's why it's called carbon neutral. Okay, so this is how the scenario here. If you compare that with respect to the India, it is almost very small. Like, but you have to think about India is having 1.4 billion people, whereas the UK population is only about 7 crore. So it's about 1/20th of the population, and at the same time, the power generation 1/10 of that. So that means in the UK, people are roughly using 2 times of what India's average is being used. That's the kind of level you can say. Okay, let's back to our presentation.
Sir?
Yeah, I'm coming back to that presentation. Just
Okay,
wait.
okay, please.
Because when I'm switching over from that, Google doesn't let me to switch over that straight away. Okay. Right. Can you see the screen now? Okay. Yeah. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Please.
This about the power generation.
Sir, can you show in the PPT mode, presentation mode? It is only PPT.
Yeah. Yes, sure.
Sir.
Yeah. So if you see this coal is the major power in India, but in the UK, it was decided long in 2023. There were only 3 power stations which are running. One is West Burton, Radcliffe, and Kilroot. And in September 2022, the West Burton was closed, and 2023 Kilroot was closed, and in September 2024, Radcliffe also closed. And so as such, on 2025, we don't have any coal power stations in the UK. If you take about the renewable energies, comes up with dual fuel fire, means there will be some energy which is coming from conventional and some of them from the renewable, and pumped hydro, bioenergy. Yeah.
Sir, one request. Can you go to the PPT mode, presentation mode? It is in only PPT.
Yeah.
Actually, full
Okay.
screen is there. When you go to the presentation mode,
Sorry, I share my screen maybe wrongly. Just
no,
one
it
minute.
is not wrong, sir. It is correct. But click there the presentation mode, full size. Below the left side, right side, bottom corner, on presentation mode is there.
Press F5. You can press
Sorry,
F5.
I'm not. Okay.
Please carry on, sir. No problem.
See, this
Please.
is the presentation, right?
Bottom side, right corner. Bottom side.
So it goes into different way. So okay. So this is the screen. I make my presentation full.
Okay, sir. Carry on. No problem. Sir. It is seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Press it.
So
The funnel you can press. This funnel. There's one funnel. Just
is it now full screen for you? No.
no. You just see where we are increasing and decreasing the this zoom out. Just nearby zoom in, zoom out. You may see one funnel. Just press the funnel. Yeah. Just press the funnel. Or you can press F5. Yes. Okay, carry on as it is, please.
Sir, please carry on. No problem.
Please carry on.
For me, I'm getting the full screen, but not sure why it's not coming here in this way.
Sir, it is seen.
Let
No
me
problem. Sir, you
try
carry
another
on.
way.
Please carry on.
Sir, it is in now full screen. Sir, it is now full screen, sir.
Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Sir, it is now okay, sir.
Sir, your PPT is quite visible. Please continue.
Okay. Right. Let's go this way. I have no idea why the full screen doesn't work here with the Google. I tried in my computer. It is full screen, which is shown here.
वहीं से गड़बड़ है. Adding your phone number and message and meet you always.
Okay. Sorry, I have not much. I tried in my screen. It shows full screen, but for some reason in Google it doesn't show that way. So
Yes,
I'm
sir, it is
continuing
seen.
with this.
You can carry on,
Right.
sir.
If you see the UK electricity flow, these are the basics that it works. Like I want to suppress this live captions. For some reason, it is showing. It is not suppressing. Yeah, it's done. Right. Okay. So if you see this electricity in this chart, you can have different spheres which it comes in, and then how it is being utilized. That's the kind of thing you can see. And again, this is also taken from Duke's Energy, which is the standard, like a CEA kind of organization in the UK. They provide the data, and if you go there, and you can get all the things. Duke's is referring for UK Energy Statistics, Department of UK Energy Statistics. Okay, so in this one, with the chart, you can see the latest one, the biomass, which are used not only for electricity, but for other areas like heat and other areas as well. So the renewable fuels have been used for 72% used for electricity, and some of them used for generating heat. Some of them are used for transportation, like they're using biodiesel and sort of thing that is also being accounted. And some of them are used as after the power generation, and then it is used for grid injection like that. So the biomass is not just used only for combustion or generating electricity. So if you can see from the electricity installed capacities, these are the things like some of the time you can see how much it is being done. And in terms of the renewables, the most of the renewables are coming from wind, and some of them are co-firing, and some of them from landfill gas, etc. And this is the breakup. If you really want, you can go to that grid watch, which is there, and you can get it in. When it comes to the biomass, there are three types of co-firing technologies which are used. One is direct firing, and another one is indirect firing, and co-firing with to dedicated firing. Because sometimes what happens, direct firing, they just use biomass. So basically, what they do is they take like a coal. It goes to the coal milling, and biomass without any process added in the mill, and go to the coal burner, and this mixture is going there and used it in the boiler. So this is the direct the process of the biomass. The another one is the biomass is used with a separate mill, and coal is used with separate mill, and then both are mixed together and passes through the burner, and then the boiler will work. So that's the direct co-firing. Whereas these ratios can be fixed depending upon the boiler arrangement. Dedicated biomass co-firing, the thing is like biomass actually milled, and there is a separate burner that is for used for biomass, and for coal there is a separate coal burner used for the coal, and these two are separately combusted, but the energy will be passed in the boiler, and then it is used for the power generation. So these are the three types. And in the dedicated biomass, what happens is we completely take out the coal, and instead of the coal, the biomass is used and biomass is burned. So this is dedicated ones. The best example for the dedicated biomass coal firing is Drax Power. I will come back to you when explain to you in the Drax Power what are the solutions of that. In the plant design, we have two things. One is retrofitting existing plant, another one is the new plant. When we want to go for retrofitting, it is basically already the thermal power plant exists in most of the cases in India. That's the case. And when they are using that existing thermal power plant, conversion becomes cheaper because they have to add only the coal milling and coal transportation, fuel handling systems, etc. So it's cheaper. And because it is the existing ones, we have a very limited co-firing because we cannot combust 100% or anything. So we need to check with the existing boiler, existing heat transfer surfaces, etc., and what it can capable of, permitting the biomass. Because again, you can't permit all the biomasses. There are some cases in terms of its fuel characteristics also, and ash characteristics also, that affects the limitations of co-firing. And you can do the things very quickly, and these things are different on, as I mentioned, biomass characterization, heat transfer, and the materials which are used for the boilers, superheaters, reheaters, etc. And we need to have some change of burners, and we need to have to change some feeding systems, and there are some C&I tuning needed. There will be difference in ash disposals because of the difference in ash characteristics and ash quantities. And since we are mixing the biomass with the existing arrangements, there may be some environmental violations or exceeding the environmental limits that also needs to be checked. Sometimes that can be a critical issue in terms of limiting the biomass. And we have some, because it's already a installed plant, we might have some issues in terms of the layout. And because of the biomass, which is different from the thermal coal, So there may be some reduction in the availability because of the ash depositions and other things. Whereas the new plant, yeah, it's not very tough, but it is increased cost, and since it is a new plant, everything is matched to the biomass, and all you need is you need to identify whether you will get the same biomass for the longer period for the entire plant life, say for example 30 years. That is a big challenge because the biomass characteristics do vary at times. Biomass co-firing, we have some issues and there are some remedies. Basically, outside of the plant, biomass source is the issue. Availability and transportation and economical conditions and financial efficiency, these are the things which are affecting the biomass because these are outside of the plant. And within the plant, as we discussed earlier, the design, fuel characteristics, thermal, mechanical issues, retrofittings, and ash disposals. These are the issues. But how to overcome these remedies is basically we need to have a proper strategic plan. Like when we are sourcing, we need to have a long-term and short-term contracts. We need to make sure that the fuel characteristics matching with the design conditions of the plant. And these long-term agreements should ensure that they should be provided every time, and there will be enough transportation from the source to the plant. That's also needed. And when you're going for that, there may be the issues of economical, so you need to have a cost and benefits kind of analysis. And if you're using the co-firing, what are the benefits like that? Whereas in the SAMARTH mission in India, I think the government is encouraging the use of biomass in the existing plants, and the biomass is given a reasonable cost, and at the same time there are some incentives available for reduction in the carbon emissions. So that can be a win-win situation. Since I'm just only knowing basic about the Indian government's plans, I may not be able to tell more. Probably the you have to wait for other presenters to tell about all those information. So I'm limiting only to myself on the technical issues. Biomass co-firing, the engineering, what you need to do is you need to have a due diligence. First, you need to identify the source contracts, and you need to have ASAP studies and layouts, storage, transfer systems, commissioning. What are the assets, how to manage, and all sort of things that you need to look into that when you're going for the engineering. And the process is again simple. If you identify the biomass and waste, because I'm introducing the thing waste here, because similar to the biomass, there are some RDF and municipal waste which are being used that can also be used parallelly in the waste to energy plants. So some of the plants are biomass, and they can also be used with some amount of waste. That's why I introduced. That's the benefit of reductions of the waste in India as well. So if it is a biomass, you can use combustion, use pyrolysis and gasification, anaerobic digestion methods. Whereas in the waste, it's not anaerobic, whereas it can be combustion, incineration, gasification, and landfill. But some of the waste, like organic waste, that can be even used for anaerobic. It's not like we can't use the bio waste like that, but in general, these are the processes that are being used for biomass. And co-firing, there are some chips which are kind of logs and other things which are larger in size, and that can be ground, or it can be appropriately used. Like in India, we are using quite a lot this kind of logs for our domestic energy consumption, like household cooking and other areas. And similarly, chips which are used for industrial boilers and other places. The pellets, which is a common kind of thing which can be used anywhere. It is generated from the biomass waste, compressed and densified, and then that is being commercially used. Wherever it is possible, it can be used. Alternatively, you can grind it, make the pulverized fuel, and this pulverized fuel is similar like a pulverized coal, and that can be used. The only difference is the densities, and that can be matched. And this is the arrangements for the transportations, which are similar to the coal handling systems. But if you really want to see the complexity, I will show you what are the complex in that when you are handling with the biomass. And in the UK, most of the things, all the households like this kind of a green box, it is being collected, and all the house comprising of any biomass waste that is being collected, carried over by this um, in the trucks, and then it will be going to the common place. Either it can go for landfill, or it can be used for suitable utilization after drying and processing. That's the thing. And for the drags, what happens is, this is a, a train having containers, and the containers carries pellets, and the pellets comes from, I think, North American countries, and that goes that from North America, it comes to the ports, and then from the port, the pellets are transported to um, uh, through these trains, and then the trains will carry over. So that's the thing. So I have attached with this tracks video. If you happen to see, you can get it that as well. If you want, I can show you, but for time being, I just limit myself for the presentation.
Sir, sir, Sarwan sir. Sir, any problem? Sarwan sir?
Hello. Can you hear me? Yeah, I think there is some problem with the line disconnected for a while, and then I have to connect it. It's not shown. Yeah, yeah. There's no issue from your end. I can't see any feedback or any voice or anything. Okay. Right. Okay. I will continue that. Right. Okay.
Sir, please carry on, sir.
Yep. Yeah. If you see this, I've mentioned about the direct firing and indirect firing methodologies, and there are some, benefits which are provided by the government, mainly on mainly in terms of funding that is given in terms of obligation certificate. They call it as renewable obligation certificate, and that they are providing it for the incentives for the users. Like they provide this renewable obligation certificate, and also if you are running from the biomass, then there will be some tariffs that they are giving extra, and if you're using biomass, then they give some discounts for the homes which they're using biomass like that.
Sorry for inconvenience due to some technical issues. Sir is unable to present his presentation. Please wait for the time. Sir, Sarvan sir. Due to some technical issues, sir is unable to join. Sir is try to join again. Please wait. Thank you, sir. Saravanan sir? Saravanan sir?
Sir, I think you are muted, sir. Please unmute yourself.
Hello, Mr. Saravanan. It seems that you are mute right now. Please unmute yourself, then we'll get the voice. We are not getting your voice. Mr. Saravanan, please. Can you respond, please? Just unmute yourself. Mr. Virenna, please inform him.
Sir, I am calling. Sir, I am calling, sir.
Oh, yeah. I think it is actually clicked mute. Can you hear now? Okay.
Yeah, please. Now you are audible.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was accidentally mute or something.
It's okay.
I have no idea. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. This waste or any biomass which comes here and goes to the storage bin, and then that is used with the feeders, and that feeders helps to take them out and put it into the combustion area, and then the gravity flow is taking place, and it is combusted in the furnace or the boiler, and then the heat is make use of it and passes through various maybe a traveling grate or vibrating grate arrangement, and then it goes to various stages of filters, and then finally passed it out as ash and flue gas. And in the meantime, we generate the steam, and that steam is used in the steam plant, and then it is used for various other things. So in a captive plant, this is what the basic thing is there, and this design is actually developed by Babcock Wilcox, and the whole plant would be looking like this arrangement. Anaerobic digestion basically they have the organic waste which are collected, and they are going for the digester. In the digester, they are permitted it for fermentation and making with microbial actions, converted into natural gases, and then this anaerobic biogas is used and then purified, and it can be used for power generation and other things. So this is also being practiced in some of the anaerobic digestion plants in the UK. Most of the food waste are actually being used in this methodology. The recommendations, what I could think from the UK perspective is basically most of the things when we are using for direct firing, we are already having India has very good mechanism for direct firing. There's no issues because most of the biomass is collected, domestically used, and they are consumed at villages levels. But the thing is, when it is going for crop firing and other areas, after the agricultural things, then it creates a big environmental pollutions. So those kind of things could be avoided. That can be done through the biomass and the collection mechanisms, and we can use this for the co-firing and dedicated biomass methodologies. The plants can be installed near to the sources, so that the villages and other areas, it can be collected and make use of it. And we try to minimize the value added biomass fuel, because that will increase the cost. Like if you're going for too much fuel processing, milling, and transportations, then it is not viable for any plant to run on. Sometimes it's very difficult to meet the cost benefit analysis. And the UK biomass is different from the India biomass, because in the households, the biomass is actually collected, properly segregated, and it is, the collection mechanism, it has been paid, and therefore it is very effective. Whereas in India, the mixture is actually multiple, it has more moisture, and the separations and all are not taking place, and it creates a lot of ardor and public hygiene issues. So that could have been well controlled in cities, but in villages and other things, it becomes very large. It's not cost effective. Local energy needs can be met by biomass instead of kind of one distribution from the central distribution to everywhere. So you can have smaller plants locally, and that will be more effective for Indian kind of environment. Again, Indian average plant life is about 10 years, and can be used for another 15 to 20 years by minimizing coal use and increasing biomass use. If we use it with the biomass, like the normal average life of plant is about 30 years, but if you're using biomass, the plant life would come down drastically, because of the issues related to the corrosion and other things. So that also needs to be identified and tackled. If needed, the material changes needs to be done, so that effective utilization of the biomass can be done. Adequate contract for difference funds should be provided. The contract for difference funds means, like if we are using the coal or any other non-conventional plant, the plant cost would be coming down. But if you're installing any biomass related value additions things, then their cost will be higher. But that increased cost should be either provided as an incentive by the government or through some tax reduction mechanisms. So that will be better off. So this is another video. I can put it in the slide. This is basically a plant which is located near the fields. This is called a Sleaford biomass plant, where they collected the straw from the nearby area and then brought into that in a bales, and then they are using it. So this video would help you to get more idea about it. I'm not running, but probably I can share once you get it. You'll get it in. Okay. With this, I'm thanking. There are some glitches in the presentation, but I'm happy to answer your queries if you have anything. Thank you. Yeah, please. Arkya Jyoti Sen. Yeah. Arkya Jyoti Sen.
Thank you for the presentation. So I
Yeah.
have some questions. In
Please.
the biomass boilers, typically what type of emissions we get, and how do we control those emissions? Is it similar to what emissions we get in coal-fired boilers?
It is similar, because it is also having carbon, hydrogen, and all of the thing. The important thing is like it has some sodium and potassium and other minor ingredients. which are slightly different from the coal. So what happens when these are emitted? That time it forms a compounds which are associated with others and salts, and these salts, when it is emitted to the atmosphere, it's not going to be a much problem, whereas it causes a lot of corrosions within the plant. So that's the kind of thing. And another thing is, like, there are some fuels which might have very high very high nitrogen content things, where the NOx levels could be increased higher. So you need to have a little bit changes on that. It depends on the biomass characteristics. Not every biomass is the same.
Thank you, sir.
Only thing, you can get some increased ash and increased moisture. The moisture might be a very big issue if it is not a pellet. Pellet is actually controlled moisture, whereas if we are using a direct biomass, the moisture control may be an issue. And sometimes odor is also a problem in the nearby plants.
My second question is that, as you are telling regarding the ash generated from burning biomass, so
Yeah.
typically this ash will not be having the same properties as generated from coal. So
Yes.
Is there any change in the ash handling system for biomass fired boilers?
The answer is yes and no. It depends on how much quantity you're firing. If you're co-firing up to 20%, there's not much differences you can find. But if you're going for dedicated firing, that means 100% biomass, yes.
So
That will have a
typically,
different.
what is the ash content? Typically, what is the ash content, average ash content?
If it is a pellets, it's about 5 to 10%. If it is a regular biomass, it would be more.
And how it is conveyed, like is it by dense space pneumatic conveying or similar type of arrangements?
Generally, these are collected as a bottom ash and dry ash, and that will be carried over. And the another thing, when the ash biomass ash is there, they have slightly less density than the pulverized fuel coals and other things, so that they actually burn in the furnace, not on the bottom. It is on the suspended kind of a burning. So what happens, these after the burning, they releases the heat instantaneously, and the heat release pattern would be slightly different. That will cause the furnace with very high temperature in the zones where it is not necessary. That will have material corrosion as well as high temperature impacts. So your life of the plant would come down. But other than that, once it is combusted, it's a simple ash, and it can go to the mostly we are using ESPs, but ESPs have a lot of resistivity to collect, but the biomass has less resistivity, so it would be recommended to go for bag filters. Otherwise, you will not be able to collect it with the ESP with 100% capturing of the biomass. So that will emit it into the atmosphere.
So that means for the biomass boilers, the auxiliary power consumption will be typically very low compared to PF boilers.
Answer is yes and no. It depends on the back filter. Like if the back filter, the pressure drops are very high, then your fan would need a lot of power. Whereas the ESP power would be coming down. So we need to balance both. Because we are using a back filter, you're not using ESP, so some power consumption can be saved. But on the other hand, because of the back filter, you'll have some increase in the power in the ID fan and FD fan areas. So that will also be seen. So in general, yes, if you're not using ESP, the power consumption would come down.
And as you are explaining that this biomass fuel does not require any processing. So in that case, inside the boiler, in the combustion zone, so how does it basically fluidize? I mean, is there any fluidization required for burning this biomass?
you're coming for the fluidized bed boilers, but generally these fluidized bed boilers, biomass and these things, you need to have a proper fuel characteristics similarities. Otherwise, fluidization becomes a difficult thing. Whereas in general, for these biomass plants, what I observed is grate fired or vibration grates or traveling grates kind of arrangements are much better, or pulverized fuel mixed with the biomass pellets mixed and pulverized with the pulverized fuel. That's the thing. But for CFD and other boilers, you need to have a proper fuel characterization. There are some issues. Say, for example, if you're using bagasse as a fuel, you may not be able to do it properly in the fluidized bed boilers. So it needs a proper design. Otherwise, it's very difficult. So you cannot generalize one design that can be used for everywhere.
So it can be safely blended with the pulverized fuel and then it can be used.
Yeah, that's correct.
And typically, what is the calorific value?
The calorific value, I think it's if I remember, it's 2,400 kilocalories per kg, and it can go up to something like 2,800. I can check up. I have some figures. I can tell you. Yeah.
Okay. And the moisture content?
Moisture content, it varies. If you're using pellets, it would be very less, maybe a range of 5 to 10%. Whereas if you're using the biomass collected from straw and other things, it varies. It can go up to 15 to 20%.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. That's for
yeah, welcome.
Yes. Sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, do you have any actual field data available after using this pellet as a fuel, as a co-firing boiler in respect of auxiliary consumption and heat rate of the plant? And the effect, actually, I want to know what is the effect of heat rate and on auxiliary consumption when you use pellets as co-firing.
Yeah, we have, but some of them are, I worked with some companies. I may not be able to tell you offline, online, because, these are some company details which I'm not allowed to say. Okay, but yeah, it is there. We have extensively worked with 20% biomass co-firing, and especially when I was working with Alstom, I did a lot of research on co-firing and its effects on heat rate, consumption, heat and mass balances, everything. Yeah.
Sir, any rough idea, sir? How much reduction takes place in respect of fuel consumption? That is main fuel, that is coal.
No, fuel consumption, you can't say it's reduction because the CV value is low. So naturally, you will increase the fuel consumption for the biomass because in the coal, the CV values are much, much higher. If you talk about sub-bituminous and bituminous coals, they are into 3,300, 3,800 kilocalories kind of range. Whereas if it's a biomass, it's 2,000 to 2,400 kilocalories. So what will happen? Almost you need to have more fuel. So there is no reduction in the fuel consumption.
For the same
Whereas if you're
generation,
going with the lignite, this is comparable, almost equal.
that is for the same output.
Yeah. For the same output, because you have the same furnace, same release rates and all. That's why you need to have a dedicated burner, or you need to have a co-firing burner. It all depends on how much co-firing you're doing on. So you will get exactly similar, not much difference in terms of heat rates and other things. Only thing you're matching with respect to the steam absorbing capacity of the boiler.
Okay.
So you won't get any reduction in that. Only thing, the fuel consumptions can vary. Yeah. Yeah. Someone raised some questions. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I have some questions, sir.
Yeah, please.
So, actually, for exclusively for biomass direct firing boiler, so what's the plant life? 10 years.
No, it is actually, I was trying to tell it's 10 years reduction if it is from the thermal power plant to the biomass conversion ones. Okay, but it's normally about 25 years. That's the kind of a thing. Any plant which is designed for ASME design, it is for 25 years.
And maximum rating available in UK for direct firing of biomass?
The direct firing, like 100% dedicated firing, it's a 1,000 megawatt plant. That's the Drax power. It's there.
Okay, and second thing is that that's S quality. Actually, sir, what we learned that in biomass S, in case of biomass firing S, there is some chlorine content is there. So it is
That's
not.
correct.
It's not suitable for cement industry. So is it sure, sir?
Actually, for the cement industry, what I understand is chlorine is one of the component. The main thing is unburned carbon present in the ash. If the unburned carbon in the ash exceeds certain quantity, it affects the binding nature of the cement. So I think it's 0.3 or something. I don't recollect. I did it when I was in NPTI. Ash utilization. There was some book I have written, but it was not published. In that one, I have collected. I think if it's 0.3% of the unburned carbon, if it exceeds, then it is not suitable for cement industry. NTPC has published ash utilization manuals as well, and they are concentrating below this unburned levels. And then if it is there, that ash is very well suitable for cement. If it is not, it can't be. Whereas in the biomass, the unburned carbon present will be higher. The reason is most of the time the density is low. If the air and fuel is not properly optimized, it will combust in somewhere in the furnace rather than not in the bottom of the furnace, and it carried over along with the flue gas path. And because of the less density component, it goes and stays there. There may be the possibility that unburned carbon carry over, and that will be the reason that the biomass fuel ashes may not be suitable for cement industry. It needs to be a very again, you need to have a recirculation and combust everything full, and then it can be reused. Otherwise, it can't be used. Whereas this unburned carbon, when it is there, it is a good agricultural fertilizer area, so you can supplement it actually. So it depends. Yeah.
That means the ash we are having from direct firing of 100% firing of biomass plant to normally used for land filling purpose, no sir?
Yeah, land filling, or you can use for agricultural fertilizers if it is enhanced with that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Not for cement. Not for cement.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we are welcome. Any more questions, please? Or shall we close this? I think we are running late for the next session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your presentation, for valuable messages for international biomass co-firing. Any questions? I request you all. Any questions, please? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for your this opportunity. I'm happy to associate again with NPTI, being my former employer. Thank you. Have a great and success for this seminar. Bye.
Thanks. So now we take a half an hour lunch break, and we will join the session by 2 o'clock. Thank you.